Good afternoon to everyone here. It's an absolute pleasure to see so many bright faces gathered here today. I wish you all a very happy, the incredible mentors here who are shaping the future assets of our country with their wisdom, guidance, and unwavering dedication. I also take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest, Mrs. Girima Ghare Khan, on behalf of Amity School Parivar. Ma'am, it's our school's tradition to welcome our guest with a token of love. That is our school's documentary, Kera Vino Karmayo. But unfortunately, as today you are not physically present with us, so Prakash sir has already arranged and he will send to you soon at your residential address. Thank you. Friends, as you all know, we have been working tirelessly for a long time to translate the well-known Gujarati book Paper Clips into English. And today, we are finally here to celebrate this achievement. We had eagerly anticipated the presence of Mrs. Girima Ghare Khan in person, but due to unexpected weather conditions, she is joining us virtually today to present a review of the same. We are truly fortunate to have her with us, as she had reviewed paper clips at numerous places and numerous times, and today, for us, we are no exception. Thank you so much, ma'am. You are already familiar with her impressive profile, as it was already shared with us. So without any further delay, let's dive into the much anticipated book review. And I also request to you, ma'am, to virtually unveil the English translation of Paper Clips. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. I, being a teacher, is very happy today, like all of you, and wish very, very happy Teachers' Day. We all know what we all are doing as teachers, and I'm very happy that the book which has brought us together is also regarding a project started by school and with much effort jointly by teachers, students and parents as well, if possible. And it has become very famous. The thing that put up also, it has become very famous across the world. I give my hearty congratulations to respected Shri Ranchod Bhai, Shri Prakash Bhai and everyone else who is with this hard work and the team who has taken the pain to translate here to give it to all of you on this very pious, as I said, it's a pious day. I am very happy and proud to launch the English version of this book, Paper Clips. Coincidentally, the person who has written the Gujarati version has been a teacher for many years in Mohinabad School at Ahmedabad, and the person, that is me, who wrote about the book and which brought us together through an article in one magazine, has also been a teacher. I worked for many years as a teacher, and so I know what teachers can do. And you all know through your school book, I have known what you all are doing, what hard work you all are putting up, and I'm indeed very happy to meet you all today, though online. So congratulations to one and all once again, and let's start the introduction of the book, Paper Clips. The book, as I said, authored by Rasilaben Kadia, is very unique in its theme and subject matter. I would also show you the Gujarati version of the book. This is the original book. Okay, so let me first give you a brief introduction of the author, Rasilaben Kadia. Born in 1941, Rasilaben completed her studies with a major in Gujarati and a minor in Sanskrit. She later obtained a BA degree too. She went on to pursue a PhD in autobiography in Gujarati literature, form and development. This is relatively a less explored area of study. After 11 years of her PhD, upon completing 50 years of her life, she earned an MA with a major in Prakrit, for which she received a gold medal. 15 years later, she completed an advanced workshop in manuscriptology, that is very rare, manuscriptology and polygraphy. Like this, in spite of being a teacher, Rasila Ben has remained a dedicated student throughout her life. She has proved that learning never ends and she is still learning at her 80+8 age. And we all know as teachers that we have to keep learning. Yes, Rasila Ben was a teacher at Mohinabad Kanya Vidyalaya in Ahmedabad for 17 years. She has nurtured many students under her guidance. After publishing her PhD thesis as a book, her writing continued ceaselessly. Her books are known for their distinct subject matter. Many authors write fiction, but she has written on different subjects. One of her notable work is Shruth Sevi Shri Lakshman Bhai Bhojak Na Sanidhyama. This is Paryushan going on, and so to mention this book also is very important. After experiencing the pain of loss, she wrote the book Bas Bahut Hai, which tells Malala's story. Apart from the biography of Seth Sri Lallubhai Raichand Javeri, her most significant work is a collection of documents from the years 1643 to 1914. The task of uncovering and deciphering these centuries-old documents from the 17th and 18th centuries required tremendous effort and time, which she has accomplished skillfully. She has a deep interest in studying, researching, and particularly transcribing and editing old Gujarati manuscripts. Her work has been published in journals like Neer Grantha, Sambodhi, Anusandhan, Swadhyay, Forbes, etc. Like this, Rasila Ben is truly an eminent author. In addition to her scholarly work, she writes poetry, short stories, essays, and articles on social and critical issues. She also translates short stories from Kannada and contributes to literary magazines like Sanskriti, Vicharal, Chingari, and other renowned magazines. I really take pride that I know her very closely through a literary column group, Kalam. And I'm very happy that I could write about her book, Paper Clips, which again I mentioned, which has brought us together today. As mentioned in the book's preface, this book tells the story of a project undertaken by a school in a small town in America. That was not a big school like yours. The aim was to help children understand the concept of 6 million, a number too vast for them to comprehend. फर्स्ट टाइम जब टीचर ने बोला 6 मिलियन तो वो बच्चे समझ ही नहीं रहे थे कि 6 मिलियन क्या है, व्हाट इज दैट नंबर. So in spite of people being killed, they were more amazed that 6 million कितना होता है. And so to make them understand, the whole project was taken. To achieve this, it was decided to collect 6 million paper clips. It's a small thing which does not take much space, light in weight, and so easy to collect also. It was decided to collect 6 million paper clips, giving the children a tangible sense of the number. But as the main idea, the purpose of the project was just to explain the children what is 6 million. But as the collection of these paper clips progressed, the project revealed multiple dimensions and ultimately conveyed a powerful message of love, peace, and humanity. We'll see how that was made possible. The question arises, why was it necessary to collect 6 million paper clips? Why was it important for the children to grasp the number? To answer this, we must first confront one of the darkest stains in history. With a heavy heart, let's dive into the wounds of the Holocaust. I am very sorry that on this pleasant day I have to mention all that sad things to you, but it is very necessary to understand the project of the. The story begins before World War II. Adolf Hitler, the Führer of Germany, was driven by grand ambitions. He harbored the belief that only Germans possessed pure Aryan blood and that only they had the right to live. हम सबको मालूम है हिटलर वही सोचता है कि हम जर्मन्स में ही है आर्यन ब्लड और जिंदा रहने का हक हमको है और किसी को नहीं. He harbored the intense hatred for particularly Jews to the extent that he did not even consider them humans. He treated them like insects. At that time, Jews were relatively wealthy and lived comfortable lives due to their intelligence and business acumen. Hitler ingrained in the minds of people that Jews were to blame for the misery and poverty. Germany had to pay heavy price for the involvement in World War I, and it had to pay fine every year to the countries. And the German people were driven into poetry. And as we say, mastermind by Hitler, all the people believed that Jews were to be blamed for that. They were actually brainwashed. According to Hitler, Jews were responsible for the misery, and gradually he began to persecute the Jews in various ways. Initially, what he did, he designated the specific areas for Jews in city. He called them ghettos. We all have heard about the ghettos. Jews who ventured outside the ghettos were killed. The only crime was they have come out of the area. Hitler said that no one should buy anything from Jews or avail any services of Jews, may it be medical or any other thing, whether they were doctors or lawyers. In short, he economically and socially crippled the Jews. Between 1933 and 1938, Hitler passed 400 laws against Jews. Many were even exiled from the country. Jews were forced to wear a star on their clothes as a mark of identification. Hitler brainwashed people to such an extent that even those who had lived as friends with Jews for years began to expose them, began to hate them. We have seen some of them in the film Kashmir Files, how the neighbors and friends, what they did. Those who opposed this were branded as traitors. So those who loved Jews were traitors in his eye. The desire for power and world domination turned Hitler into a warmonger. According to me, he was a mentally sick person. In 1939, he first invaded and conquered neighboring country Poland, where 3 million Jews lived. What to do with those Jews? he herded them into ghettos where they were treated inhumanly. But even this did not satisfy. As the war progressed, food shortages began. Hitler and his associates believed that Jews did not deserve to live. If they died, it would say food. Simple. So every day, German police would raid their areas, force people out of their homes, line them up, and randomly selected individuals to be taken to the woods and shot. This method of killing 500 to 700 people at a time was deemed too costly for the country in wartime. Wasting valuable bullets on such murders? Hence began the most shameful chapter in human history, concentration camps. Jews were herded into cattle cars, treated worse than animals, and taken to camps. The stronger ones were then sent to work in factories which were making weapons and all those things needed for the war. The strong ones were sent to factories to make things for the Germans, while the weak, sick, elderly, women, and children, those who were useless for them, were selected for extermination. Even the stronger individuals, weakened by inadequate food and hard work, harsh living conditions, eventually ended up on the list of those to be killed. Hitler and his company devised a monstrous plan, I think calling it monstrous is an understatement because even the demons, the राक्षस हमने कहानियों में जो राक्षस के बारे में पढ़ा है वो इतने ऐसे क्रूअल तो नहीं. So these people were worse than that. They demonstrated a plan to kill many people simultaneously. Why to take individuals and why to waste bullets on them, which was very badly needed in the time. And this led them to the invention of gas chambers. In these chambers, they refer to them as gas showers, because the gas was showered from them upon top. In gas showers, large groups of people were herded together and carbon monoxide gas was released from the showers, killing them within minutes. The bodies were then discarded in the woods. Actually, they were not bodies, they were just heap of meat. As Germany sank deeper into war, more Jews were found in Eastern European countries. These were also prisoners of war, especially Russian soldiers, who did not fit Hitler's definition of human. So prisoners of war वो भी इंसान नहीं थे, उनको भी मरना ही था. Additionally, और कौन को मरना था? Homosexual, communists, and others who were considered unworthy of life. हम हमारे किसी काम के नहीं है, तो मरो. The camps became overcrowded. So a new, more efficient method of killing was needed. What to do? As he was invading more countries, more and more Jews were found and collected. So many were there, camps were not enough, so what to do? German scientists, they were very intelligent people. They developed xylon B gas, which could kill more people at a lower cost. Within minutes, they were reduced to piles of flesh. Then, Jewish laborers were tasked with extracting gold from the teeth of the dead bodies, from the heap of the meat. Maybe the strong men who were extracting the gold might be taking gold from their sisters and children and uncles and aunts. They never knew. After shoveling out the piles of flesh, the chambers were refilled and refilled and refilled with more people. In July 1941 alone, 5,000 Jews were killed in the city of Riga. At that time, Germany had 334,000 Jews, 334,000 Jews, all of whom were to be deported. Camps in neighboring countries were ordered to make space for new arrivals. और भी आ रहे हैं, जगह करो, अभी जगह कैसे करनी है? Kill them. There is no other way. Since there were no space in the Minsk MINSK, in the Minsk camp, the German officer in charge killed 24,000 Jews just in 2 days. That is 12,000 in a day. He had to make room for 48,000 new arrivals. Similar atrocities occurred everywhere else. This is just one example. And even German ladies were no exceptions for torturing the Jews. We think that they are tenders and their heart is very tender, they can't see the grief, but see how much the German people were brainwashed. One German army officer's wife used to visit the camps. If she would see a good tattoo on a prisoner's hand or any other body part, she knows to note down the barrack number and the prisoner number. The person in charge of the barrack would be ordered to kill that particular man very quickly. Then she used to use that tattooed skin part. She used to use that tattooed skin part as her wall decoration. At the end of the war, when the Allied army entered these camps, heaps of such torn tattoos, hair, and other body parts were found there. You can see this scene in the documentary World War II. It is almost towards the end when the Allied forces enter these camps. The scene is really captured very well. You can see the hands out of the cages and how the hair and everything. It is there even in the Washington Holocaust Museum. And I've heard that people can never see it full. It is so much, it touches their heart and they can't come out without crying. Okay. By the end of the war, more than 6 million Jews out of Europe's 11 million had been killed. However, when combined with other groups, the total number of people killed in the camps reached 11 million. How? Reading and hearing about all this now makes us shudder. The books and the first-hand accounts written by survivors after being freed from the camps during the war are really heart-touching, heart-wrenching. After remembering these tragic stories of Jews during World War II, let us now turn to the book. Now you will realize what was the need for collecting 6 million people. This background was necessary to better appreciate what happens in the book. Okay. Paper Clips opens in the small town of Wheatwell, Tennessee, with a population of just 1,600 people. It is so small a town, just 1,600 people. At one time, the town had a coal mine, but after it has been closed and with no railway connection, the town did not develop. The population is small, so there is only one church, one bus stop, one school. The people in the town are good natured. They all know each other and live in harmony. They respect each other. How it happens in our small villages, everyone knowing everyone, respecting others and living in harmony. Apart from the routine of life, nothing happens in the town. हमारे सब बहुत छोटे गांव में ये होता है, सब एक दूसरे को जानते हैं,
पहचानते हैं, राम राम जी करते रहते हैं और सब रिस्पेक्ट, कोई किसी को ट्रबल नहीं देता. दिस वाज सच ए टाउन. Now the only school's principal, Linda Hooper, had served there for the past 10 years. She often wondered how the students who had no exposure to the outside world could fully develop their personalities. It was like what we say, मेढक, कुएं के अंदर का मेढक. They were like that. They didn't know what happens in the outside world. One day a parent also told कि हमारे बच्चे जब बाहर पढ़ने जाएंगे या किसी वजह से बाहर जाएंगे तो वो बाहर की दुनिया को फेस कैसे करेंगे. So the parent also expressed this concern that you should do, कुछ करना चाहिए कि ये बच्चों को बाहर दुनिया कैसी है उसकी पहचान हो. How our children will adjust to the outside world. The children will encounter people from different backgrounds, but they have never seen anyone from outside the town. So it is possible that they might get discrimination or they may start hating other people who are unknown to them. Will they harbor prejudice and hatred toward others? This was the concern of the parent and the principal. These thoughts troubled Linda as well. To address this, she called a staff meeting and shared her concerns. क्योंकि ये स्कूल टीचर, स्कूल की जिम्मेदारी है कि बच्चों को ये सबसे अवगत करें क्या करना चाहिए. The school's vice principal, David Smith, had just returned from attending a conference and had learned something new. वो भी बाहर जाके आए थे, कुछ सीख के आए थे. So he asked Linda, what do you know about the Holocaust? Linda replied that the Holocaust was when the Nazis killed Jews during World War II. She knew this much. David then suggested that if we educate the children about it, they will understand how a lack of tolerance between different communities and individuals can turn into hatred and lead to devastating consequences. इसके पहले मेरा ऐसा एक मीटिंग था, वो यूएस के पीपल थे. तब someone had asked me in the end that why to teach about this hatred, but it is not teaching about the hatred, it is teaching the result, the consequences of hatred to the children. हेट्रेड क्या है और इसके परिणाम क्या हो सकते हैं वो दिखाने हैं, इसलिए हेट्रेड नहीं करनी है किसी की और. The vice principal told Linda was convinced and a special class was planned to teach the students about the Holocaust. What started as a simple school project soon reached unimaginable heights. Being teachers, मैं समझ सकती हूँ रणछोड़ भाई ने, प्रकाश भाई ने, सबने आज ये बुक को क्यों पसंद किया है. That also teaches school and school teachers what I just said just now. कि स्कूल और टीचर्स if they ठान ले तो क्या क्या हो सकता है. They should be supported by students and parents as well. But a school and teachers can do everything. If anyone is there, we say mother is after God, but I value the teachers as well because they are almighty. Sometimes what mothers and parents can't do, that the teachers can do, and we all have experienced them. Even mothers and parents brought the students, बच्चों को ले आते हैं स्कूल में, टीचर अब आप ही इसे कहिए, वो मेरी तो नहीं सुनता, and teachers can do that. So this is also a project for the teachers to learn. Okay, the subject of the project was challenging. These innocent children who didn't know anything outside the world, they were unaware of the outside world and its flaws, the bad things, the dark side of the world. How they could be negatively impacted when they learn about Hitler and his horrifying deeds. It was necessary to involve the parents before starting this project. क्योंकि वो जैसे मुझे उस क्वेश्चन में पूछा कि ऐसा क्यों सिखाना, तो कोई पेरेंट भी पूछ सकता है कि आप हमारे बच्चे को ऐसा क्यों सिखा रहे हैं. सो इट वाज नेसेसरी टू इन्वॉल्व द पेरेंट्स आल्सो. Linda called a meeting of the parents and obtained their consent. The parents also agreed, yes, our children must know about the outside world. Linda assigned the leadership of this project to a well-loved teacher. It is necessary that teachers are respected and loved also. Sandra Roberts. She was Sandra. She herself had initially no knowledge of the Holocaust. She also had been brought up and living this small village, so she didn't know about the Holocaust. But once she accepted the responsibility, Sandra gathered all the information she could from books and internet, and her class began. Now listen. On the first day, she briefly explained to the children about Hitler, the Jews, the ghettos, the gas chambers, and all the related atrocities. She explained them. And she had thought कि बच्चे बोलेंगे अरे इतना खराब, they will be astonished to listen to all this. But the result was not that. Okay? The children did not understand any of it. They thought the teacher was just joking about death. Without saying anything, the teacher asked them to look it up on the internet. क्योंकि बच्चे बोले टीचर मौत के लिए इतने लोग मर गए, ऐसे कोई ऐसे मजाक करते हैं और टीचर मजाक कर रही है. So teacher, it was useless to explain them dialect. She just told them, internet देख के आई, Holocaust लिखिए और पढ़िए क्या लिखा है. In a week after reading about it, they also read about children like Anne Frank, Levin Beton, Jackson Allen, and Friedman. They had suffered during that time. Anne Frank's diary is very famous. The children did realize that the teacher's words were true. In the next class, Sandra informed the students the number of Jews killed. That was 6 million, including about 2 million children. The classroom fell silent. Not because of the number, but because the children had no idea how much 6 million was. मर गए, कितना होता है 6 million. The children didn't know that. And in India, our children come to know about these numbers very soon. We know that. So as being Indian teachers, हमें surprise होती है कि हमें तो थर्ड फोर्थ क्लास में ये मिलियन और लैक्स और क्रोर्स पढ़ा देते हैं, लेकिन हमें मालूम है कि यूएस में ये सिस्टम नहीं है. So they didn't know. Now Sandra faced the challenge of making the children understand first the concept of 6 million. Suggestions came to collect various items like pens, pencils, buttons, etc. But one child suggested paper clips because he had read that when the Nazis occupied Norway and began sending Jews to the concentration camps, the local citizens who really loved Jews, they opposed them by wearing a paper clip on their pocket. They told that if you make them wear a star, we will wear this paper clip. If you make the Jews wear a star, we will wear this clip. They said. No other country's people had showed such courage against Hitler. Moreover, coincidentally, the inventor of the paperclip, John Waller, he himself was a Norwegian. Thus, the idea of collecting 6 million paperclips was finalized. The enthusiastic students collected as many clips as they could from home and neighbors and shops and friends and various other places. When counted, there were only 1,000 paper clips. Now what? Where is 6 million and what is 1,000? The target was as high as the sky for them. Now they wrote letters to prominent figures like William Bill Gates, Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, and inform that about their project. We all know when a good cause is initiated, support flows from everywhere. कुछ अच्छा शुरू करे तो मदद, ईश्वर मदद भेजता है, and ये इनके साथ भी हुआ. All of the big people started supporting them. All of them sent clips to the school along with heartfelt letters. Some recounting the loss of a father or brother or friend in the Holocaust, or how they fled to America during that period. So letters also started flowing in. Now, after reading the letters and all that became personal for the students. So the students' enthusiasm grew. Sorting the clips and organizing the letters began, but the goal of 6 million was still far off. Should the project be abandoned? No, that was not an option. लिया है तो खत्म तो करना ही है. The Holocaust Group's advisor, the vice principal, David Smith, created a website to spread the word about their project. He explained that each paper clip represented a single Jewish victim. एक पेपर क्लिप एक मरे हुए ज्यू के बराबर है. The website received a good response. Yet, by the end of the year, they had collected only 1,60,000 clips. Now, after all this, the students were becoming बच्चे तो बच्चे वही पेशेंस रखें. उसने कहा like 8,60,000 high. But how could God let the children get disheartened? Due to the website, news of the project spread across America. The Holocaust Museum in Washington also took its notice. वो तो बहुत पहले बन गया था. At that time, a German couple, the Scoders, who worked as correspondents for German newspapers at the White House, they learned about this project during their visit to they also met a Jewish friend who had fled from Austria to America to escape from the Nazis. See how the pieces fall into place. Encouraged by this friend, the German couple, decided to support the project. We all know that just like teachers, once journalists take up a cause, they leave no stone unturned. They spread the word in German schools and to the general public throughout various newspapers. Many Germans had lost relatives on the Holocaust. So the story was a familiar one to every one of them. पिता नहीं तो दादा, कोई तो किसी के फैमिली में से गया हुआ ही था. Within a week, they had collected 46,000 more paper clips of different kinds, representing people from all over the world. Letters were written by 6-year-old girls and 98-year-old men alike, all sharing a common sentiment. Is it be okay if I read the letter from the original book Gujarati? Is it okay? Okay. I'll read it in such a way that even the non-Gujaratis, and I hope that staying in Bharuch for a long time, you all might be aware of little Gujarati. Because the letters are very touching and it's better to read them in the original. I'll read some part of the books from the original. Okay. What the letter says. One letter says, 20મી સદીના માનવજાતના ઇતિહાસની ઘોર કલંકરૂપ બનેલી આ ઘટનાએ સૌના હૃદયને હચમચાવી નાખ્યું છે, વલોવી નાખ્યું છે, અને સૌના હૃદયમાંથી એક જ સૂર વહી રહ્યો હોય એવું જાણે કે આ પત્રોમાંથી ફલિત થાય છે. આ સૂર કહે છે, હવે માનવ જાતે કોઈ પણ કિંમતે પરસ્પર સંવાદિતા સ્થાપવી જ જોઈએ. સમગ્ર માનવજાત પુકાર કરી રહી છે કે હવે હિંસા તો નહીં જ. અહિંસા, પ્રેમ અને સહિષ્ણુતા એ જ માનવ જાતિનું અમૂલ્ય ઔષધ છે. એક નાનકડા પ્રોજેક્ટથી શરૂ થયેલા આ યજ્ઞે વિવિધ દેશોના નાના મોટા સૌના હૃદયમાં સૂક્ષ્મ રીતે વલોણું ચાલુ કરી દીધું છે. ओके, दिस गॉडेस मुझे ये जो पढ़ा वो इसलिए ज्यादा रिलेटिव लग रहा है ये टूडेज टाइम, बिकॉज एवरी डे हम देख रहे हैं गाजा एंड इजराइल एंड ईरान एंड रशिया एंड यूक्रेन, एंड ये समय में मुझे लगता है ये सब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, बहुत जरूरी है. एंड नाउ वी कैनॉट अफोर्ड ऑल दिस. अब हमें ह्यूमैनिटी स्थापित करनी है और संवादिता से जीना ही है, नहीं तो देयर इज नो एंड. द जर्मन कपल, they wrote a book about the project covering all the letters and information they had gathered. The editor of the Washington Post read it. कैसे आगे बढ़ता है ये बोलते हैं ना, एक ज्योत से ज्योत जलती रहती है और बहुत बड़ी फिर बड़ी ज्योत बन जाती है जो सबको रोशनी दे सकती है. The editor of the Washington Post read it. He visited the school and was so much impressed that NBC aired a story about it. The project then went viral across America. Letters and clips continued to pour into the school, to the point that the local post office tripled its workload. इतने letter, इतने paper clips आ रहे. The townspeople also began helping with sorting the paper clip and other material, क्योंकि ये अब खाली स्कूल के बस की बात नहीं थी. 1600 people in the town, so 3200 pairs of hands work at work. Eventually, they reached the goal of 6 million. It was obtained. However, paper clips kept arriving from around the world. It has become viral around the world. Now what? What to do with the extra paper clips? The Skoders, the German couple, informed that the Nazis had killed not only the Jews but also the disabled, homosexuals, communists, war prisoners, and many others. They even killed a 4-year-old girl because she was short in height. Her height, they considered them dwarf. Her height was just 4 feet 1 inch, and so they killed her. तुमको जीने का अधिकार नहीं है, छोटी हो, short हो. The total number of victims reached 11 million. ये सबको मिला के 1 crore and 10 lakh people fell victim to Nazi atrocities. The goal had now expanded. When the Skoders brought the first batch of collected paper clips and letters to the school, the children's reaction was, जर्मन जब पहली बार स्कूल में आए तब बच्चों ने पहली बार आउटसाइडर किसी को देखा जो अमेरिकन नहीं है, and their reaction was, oh, they look just like us. See, so innocent, they thought that Germans would be looking different, other nationals would be looking different, but seeing this couple, they told, ये तो हमारे जैसे ही दिखते हैं. So much innocence. Some of the letters they brought were incredibly touching. They also had brought letters, and I would love to read them too. I hope you all can understand. That is one letter. પ્રિય વિદ્યાર્થીઓ, હોલોકાસ્ટમાંથી બચી ગયેલા 2 જણાની હું દીકરી છું. તેઓના નામ જણાવું તો તેઓ છે કાલ્મોન અને લુઇસા ગ્લોક. તેઓના બંને બાજુના કુટુંબીજનો કેમ્પમાં મૃત્યુ પામ્યા હતા. સદભાગ્યે પોતે બચી ગયેલા. હોલોકાસ્ટમાં ભોગ બન્યા હતા તેઓને માટેના સ્મારક માટે આપ જે કામ કરી રહ્યા છો તે માટે હું ગર્વની લાગણી અનુભવી રહી છું. આ સાથે હું 7 મુખર્જી, 2 ભત્રીજા, 1 ભાઈ, દાદા દાદી અને નાના નાનીની થઈને કુલ 14 પેપર ક્લિપ્સ છે. આ એમની સ્મૃતિમાં છે. તમારા અદ્ભુત પ્રોજેક્ટને મારા બેસ્ટ ઓફ લક. અમુક સંદેશાઓ એન ફ્રેન્કને લખાયેલા હતા, જેને ડાયરી લખી છે. કોઈએ લખ્યું છે, પ્રિય એન, તું ઘણી બહાદુર અને હિંમતવાન હતી. હિટલરે યહૂદીઓ સાથે જે કર્યું એ સારું ન હતું એવું મને લાગે છે. આપણે કોણ છીએ, કેવા છીએ એ કશાયનું કશું મહત્વ હોતું નથી. માણસ માણસ જ હોય છે. The letters are very touching indeed. After reading the letters, the children felt as though holding a paper clip in their hands was touching the soul of someone who had died. So each paper clip was like the soul of one person who was killed by Nazis. Their advisor David Smith shared his experience of having a prejudice against black people when he was young. But when he went to college and met and lived with them, he realized that besides skin color, there was no difference. वो बाहर पढ़े हुए थे और उनको भी पहले गांव में रहे थे तो ऐसा ही था कि ब्लैक पीपल अच्छे नहीं है. जब गए कॉलेज में सबके साथ रहे, सबको देखा, एक्सपीरियंस किया, तब उनको मालूम हुआ कि ये तो हमारे जैसे ही है, just skin color is different. He shared his experience with the children. The project was undertaken to teach children to view all people with equality. This is one purpose of the project. Now the school was filled with paper clips and letters. The goal had been achieved. So why the book does not end there? There is still more, so many things to come. But what to do with them? This school, I think it's like your only, which takes up a project how we are doing today. If not personal, then online. Fine, but it has to be done. How to preserve the paper clips? Sandra suggested creating a memorial, and everyone liked the idea. She also suggested that they bring a cattle car. That was cattle car in which the Jews were taken, not even the railway for humans. She suggested that we bring a cattle car like the ones used to transport Jews to the camps and create the memorial inside the wagon, inside the cattle car. This would be a true tribute to the Jews who had died. Everyone unanimously approved the idea. Now one more challenge is there, from where and how to bring the cattle car. The German couple, the Scoders, they too तो कहीं से भी मिल जाएगा. It will be easy to find. This was 2001 and a railway car from 60 years old ago should be available. Given the overwhelming response to the paperclip project, they expected same results. किसी को भी बोलो वो मिल जाएगा. They wrote a letter to the German railway explaining everything. But the answer was no. They wrote to private rail companies, railway museums, private companies, and railway experts across Europe, but no one liked the idea of creating another museum to remember the Holocaust. वो बोलते हैं ना, वो गांवों को और क्यों कुरेदना है, जो गया वो गया, तो कोई वो वैन देने के लिए तैयार नहीं था. Everywhere the answer was no. Sorry, I'll get little over. Finally, the couple decided to set aside the correspondence and go to Germany themselves. पत्रों से बात नहीं बनती, फोन से नहीं बनती, हम खुद वहां जाएंगे और ढूंढ लेंगे. They rented a car and searched not only in Germany but also in Austria, Belgium, Netherlands, other countries, but they visited various railway museums but could not find the type of cattle car what they were searching from, in which actually the Jews were taken and which was used by the Nazis. They were about to return disappointed when a friend called. How the help comes, divine help, I would say. They were about to return to America when a friend called and informed them of a suitable cattle car in one specific museum. They reached the location. Now, let's read the story from the book. તેઓ મ્યુઝિયમ જોઈ રહ્યા છે. જૂના રેલ ડબ્બાઓની હારમાળા હતી. ઓ ગોડ, બધા જ વિશ્વયુદ્ધ પછીના તો હતા કેટલાક નાઝી સમયના, પણ એ બધામાં સુધારા વધારા કરી એમાં બારીઓ નંખાવી, રસોડું બનાવી, રેલ કર્મચારીઓના ક્વાર્ટર્સ તરીકે હવે ઉપયોગમાં લેવાતા હતા. બીજા કેટલાક તો જૂના ખરા, પણ જર્મનીના નહોતા. મનમાં ભારે નિરાશા વ્યાપી રહી સહી આશાના તણખલાના જોરે આગળ હજુ જોતા જાય છે અને 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 એક ડબ્બો નજરે ચડ્યો. ઘડીભર શ્વાસ થંભી ગયો. શું આપણી શોધનો અંત આવ્યો? ડબ્બાનો નંબર 001993 વંચાય છે. ઈસવીસન 1917માં બનેલો હતો અને કોન્સન્ટ્રેશન કેમ્પના કેદીઓને લઈ જવા માટે વપરાયેલ. બંને જણા જૂના પત્રકારો હતા ને, એટલે બંને જણા જૂના ડબ્બાઓનો સૂક્ષ્મ અભ્યાસ કરી સારી જાણકારી લઈને આવેલા. એટલે જોતાની સાથે બંને બોલ્યા, મળી ગયો, got it. But would it be easy to take the van from there? The museum director was unwilling to part with this special item. That was part of his museum too. After much persuasion, he agreed to give them the car. Finally, the task was done. But still, this is not the end. An email was sent to the school in Whitwell announcing the news. हमें वो van cattle car मिल गई है. The entire town rejoiced and gathered at the school. It was a celebration. Principal Linda informed the town people that without their support, the memorial could not be built. कैटल कार आए इतना ही इनफ नहीं है, अभी और कुछ करना है, अंदर मेमोरियल बनाना है. Everyone pledged to do whatever they could. अभी ये स्कूल का प्रोजेक्ट नहीं था, अभी ये पूरे गांव का प्रोजेक्ट था. पूरे गांव का ही नहीं, वैसे देखे तो पूरे अमेरिका का, पूरी दुनिया का बन गया, because everyone supported. Preparations for the memorial in Whitwell began. Let's take a side note here. When the project started, a few children were selected to participate. आपकी जो इंग्लिश बुक बनी है उसमें वो बच्चों के फोटो दिए गए हैं, बहुत अच्छी. In the English version, the pictures are very good. And the first picture itself is of the children who had participated in the project. I'm sure you all will get the book today. A few children were selected to participate, including a girl. For some reason, the other children did not like that girl. Some mental prejudice. Everyone had isolated her. But when the project began, the children realized that, in a way, their behavior towards the girl was similar to that of the Nazis toward the Jews. वो जो करते थे वही हम कर रहे हैं, बच्चों ने सोचा. So after that, they became very friendly with the girl. They understood their mistake and befriended her. The immediate profound impact of the project. Now, let's go back to Germany. When financial help from the friends were obtained, the car was purchased, but how to bring it to America, and then in America also to this small town. If you go through Google, you will see the town also. Bitwell, just write this paperclip museum and related pictures are also there. So where in America this town is located, that also is seen. The car could also only be transported via, as we all know, Atlantic Ocean. First, the car had to be moved to the port by rail. Recognizing the good intentions behind the project, the German railway agreed to do this for free. सारे काम में सबका सहकार मिल ही जाता है. The car was decorated with the name the Children's Holocaust Museum, the Children's Holocaust Memorial. It was decided to send the car on a German Navy ship heading to America. The Navy people also agreed. Overcoming minor and major challenges, the car was attached to the train and a grand farewell ceremony was held. It was covered by the media too. Finally, the car began its journey across the ocean to its final destination. But as if the trials were not enough, अच्छे काम में सहकार मिलता है तो विघ्न भी आते ही रहते हैं, that we all know. As if the trials were not enough, the ship encountered a severe storm at sea. एक बार तो ऐसा लग गया कि ये कार वहां पहुंचेगी कि नहीं. Yet, after passing through all these hurdles and tests, the car finally began its journey to Whitwell on September 11, 2001. ये September 11, 2001 हमें कोई और चीज की याद दिलाता है. We all know what happened on that day. That's really an irony. Here, a mission to teach humanity the lesson of tolerance was going on. It was underway. And on that same day, terrorists attacked the World Trade Center. Same date. And the Pentagon in New York, killing 3,000 people. दोनों चीज एक साथ हुई. When will humility learn? We feel that. At the school during this time, 4 special guests from New York had arrived. These were people between 70 to 80 years old who had personally experienced the Holocaust. 60 साल हो गए हैं, लेकिन ये लोग हैं जिन्होंने 10-20 साल की उम्र में ये हॉलोकास्ट को फेस किया था. What do they say? Let's read from the book. આવેલા 4 મહેમાનો પૈકી એક સ્ત્રી હતી. એનું નામ રેચલ લાઇટમેન. એ સમયને યાદ કરતા એણે ચીમનીની વાત કરી. કહે, અમે રોજ ચીમની જોતા, એમાંથી ધુમાડો નીકળતો રહેતા એ જોતા, પણ એ ધુમાડો શાનો છે એની સમજ પડતી નહીં. She might be just 10-15 years old that time because now she is 70 or 80. એ ગેસ ચેમ્બર છે એ વાતની જાણ ઘણી મોડી પડી. તમે અહીંના આ શિક્ષણ દ્વારા દુનિયાનો અસલી રંગ છે એ જાણી શકશો અને સાચું શું છે એ જાણી જીવનમાં એ કરવા શક્તિમાન બનશો. ચોથા મહેમાનનું નામ હતું સેમ્યુઅલ સિક્કો. એમણે પોતે ઘટનાના સાક્ષી હોય વાત કરે છે એમ જણાવ્યું. કોન્સન્ટ્રેશન કેમ્પમાં લઈ ગયા ત્યારના શરૂઆતના અનુભવની વાત કરી. સેમ્યુઅલ પોલેન્ડના હતા. એ લોકો 2 ભાઈઓ, પોતે 3 વર્ષ નાનો. જ્યારે એમને આઉશ્વિટ્સ લઈ જવાયા ત્યારે આ 2 ભાઈઓને જમણી તરફ અને કુટુંબના બીજા સભ્યોને ડાબી તરફ ઊભા રાખ્યા. આમ અમને કેમ છૂટા પાડી દીધા એ કંઈ સમજાયું નહીં. બીજે દિવસે શાવર લેતા લેતા મેં કોઈને પૂછ્યું, મારી સાથે મારો મોટો ભાઈ હતો, માતા પિતા હતા, એ લોકો કેમ દેખાતા નથી? પેલાએ મને ચીમની બતાવી. મોડેથી ખબર પડી એ તો સ્મશાનની ભઠ્ઠીની ચીમની હતી. એ પછી હું રોજ વિચારતો રહેતો કે એમના સ્થાને હું હોત તો. I'm sorry, I'm very sensitive. Many times I have done this, but every time the effect is same. At the school, listening to all this, people now better understand the value of their project because they have actually heard the people who has undergone this. The entire town of Whitwell awaited the arrival of their precious guest, which was that? The railway car that would permanently reside in that town. It would be their permanent guest. The front lawn of the school was cleared and an old track was found. The car arrived. The car arrived. It was greeted with applause and was welcomed with great excitement. A song was sung in its honor. David Smith and others entered the car, feeling as if they were witnessing the suffering of the Jews firsthand. ये होता है हमारे साथ, किसी जगह पे जाए तो उन लोगों ने उस टाइम क्या फील किया होगा वो हम भी फील करते हैं. और जो सेंसिटिव लोग हैं और जिन्होंने इतने लंबे टाइम का ये प्रोजेक्ट किया है वो तो समझेंगे ही, बिकॉज दे आर नाउ इनसाइड द प्रोजेक्ट, दे आर नॉट डूइंग इट फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. तो वो रेलवे कार में अंदर जाके उन्होंने फील किया जैसे वो भी वो जीव है और वो सफरिंग फील कर रहे हैं. The thought of cramming over 100 people into such a small place itself was giving pain. It shivered their bodies. It was as if they could hear the screams of those people. लगाई होगी जब गैस चालू होता होगा तब शुरू में 1 or 2 seconds चीखे तो होंगे ही लोग. Everyone wept bitterly. This would also give me a break. Otherwise, I also would be. એક જણે શિક્ષિકાનો હાથ પકડી પૂછ્યું, જો આ ડબ્બાને વાંચ્યા હોત તો શું કહેત? એ કહેત કે એમની માન્યતાએ એમનામાં ધિક્કાર વાવ્યો. એ અજ્ઞાન જ હતું, અબૂધતા હતી. આજે આપણે ભોગ બનનારને જિંદગીની ખોટ પડી એના શોકમાં શ્રદ્ધાંજલિ આપી રહ્યા છીએ. તો સાથે સાથે પેપર ક્લિપ્સના પ્રતીક દ્વારા એમની જિંદગીની ઉજવણી પણ કરી રહ્યા છીએ. તરત જ હૂપર ડબ્બાને સંબોધીને કહેવા લાગ્યા, હવે પછી તું યાતના આપનાર સાધન નથી, મોતના ડબ્બા તરીકેની તારી ઓળખ ઘૂસાવાની છે. તારે હવે અહીં જ રહેવાનું છે. આ તારો નવો મુકામ છે. ડેવિડ સ્મિથે એમાં ઉમેરો કરતા કહ્યું, હા, અને પછી તું કહીશ કે આ દુનિયામાં સારું પણ છે. ડબ્બા જોડે વાત કરવી, સજીવારોપણનું આનાથી વધારે સારું એક્ઝામ્પલ શું હોઈ શકે? There cannot be a better example than to talk to the railway man and to console it too that now you are in the world of love. अब तुम हमारे प्यार की दुनिया में आ गए हो, तुमने जो सफर किया अब नहीं करना पड़ेगा. They are talking to the railway carriage. The people who visit the Holocaust Museum at Washington also come out weeping uncontrollably. मेरे कई दोस्त गए हुए हैं, बाहर आते हैं वॉशिंगटन म्यूजियम में से, रोते रोते ही आते हैं. वो बोलते हैं हम पूरा देख ही नहीं सकते, वहां इतना कुछ भरा है ज्यूस का, उनके रिमेम्बरेंस. और जैसे आई टोल्ड, जैसे पीस ऑफ ए टैटू और बाल और निकाले हुए दांत और बहुत कुछ, और लेटर्स, डायरीज. तो कोई ऐसे बाहर आ ही नहीं सकता. और कितने लोग तो इतनी फीस भर के जाते हैं देखने, फिर भी पूरा देखते नहीं, बाहर आ जाते हैं. तो ये पढ़ना, ये लिखना, ये भी इतना ही पेनफुल है. And the same thing happens, I have heard, at the Hiroshima Museum also. जापान जाते हैं, वो देखने तो जाते हैं, लेकिन वहां भी वो एटम इफेक्ट की इतनी बुरी चीजें हैं वो म्यूजियम में, तो वहां भी ऐसा ही होता है. You can't come out untouched. Okay, let's come back to our book. The car was repaired and turned into a fitting memorial. A glass partition was created inside to display the 11 million paper clips. Firstly, and how they counted 11 million, that also is very interesting. Firstly, 30 paper clips were weighed, and based on that, it was calculated that the weight of 11 million paper clips would be 11 metric tons. Sorry. The paper clips were then placed inside the car. All the letters and gifts received were also arranged there. During this time, a student, he had brought a box containing how many paper clips? 1600. He told that here each paper clip represents a person in our town. They had shown the world that there is another way to live, one that replaces hatred and intolerance. It is said that one lamp lights another. A small project started in a small town crossed national boundaries and became a global phenomenon. Inspired by this, many other schools later created similar memorials. Today, this once unknown town, very small town, it has become a center of attraction for visitors. Those who visit a railway car standing on the track, surrounded by a beautiful garden. It is next to an 8-foot tall iron cube with a large shining paper clip attached. ऊपर एक बहुत लंबी बड़ी shining paper clip attached है. At the very top, there are metal sculptures of 2 children holding a butterfly. ये भी है गूगल पे, ये पिक्चर भी बहुत अच्छा है. One boy and one girl, and one boy and one girl represent the whole mankind or all the children of the world. At the end of the book, the author has included a quote from a Charlie Chaplin film. Now, the wings of the human soul have begun to spread, starting their flight. They pass through the light and bright future from the rainbow of hope. This Gujarati book is just 64 pages book, small book. It is written in very simple language. It touches the heart of every reader. The small book tells a big story. Truly, this book, it can be enjoyed by people of all ages, children and elders, same time. It can be enjoyed by people of all ages, all tribes, all nationals, all religions. this has brought an ocean into a jar. वो हम बोलते हैं ना गागर में सागर, ऐसा कुछ है ये बुक में. The fine details are presented in a very engaging manner. छोटी है, एक बार शुरू करे तो खत्म करते ही रखते हैं. And the surprising thing is we all know about the content of the book. नहीं तो क्या होता है, कोई नई चीज है तो आगे पढ़े ऐसा, आगे पढ़े ऐसा होता है. हॉलोकास्ट में क्या हुआ था, कैसे मारा था, वो सब हम जानते हैं, फिर भी ये बुक हमें एंगेज कर लेती है. द लैंग्वेज इज सिंपल एंड द कंटेंट इज सच टचिंग द हार्ट. आप एक बार शुरू करें तो फिर रख नहीं सकते इसको. Or there are no metaphors, no ornamental languages, nothing. But और मुझे कहने में बहुत खुशी होती है कि आपका जो इंग्लिश वर्जन है that is equally good. I read it too. Prakash bhai sent it to me on time. It is equally good. Actually, it is rather more simplified. There are dialogues in it. So it goes more inside the memorial, it goes more inside the book. You can be in the book, in the memorial when you read the book. The essence of the story itself is so beautiful that it does not require any external embellishment. This is the voice of the heart, reaching out from one heart to another. The book is inspirational for individuals and institutes everywhere. How it has inspired your people, your trustees, your principals, and they did all this. I know how much work they have done. They got the book translated, they got it printed. First of all, the original book was not available with Rasila Ben. They got it printed with Gurjar Prakashan. They purchased so many copies, and so the Gurjar was ready to publish the book. They did the translation again, more copies so that all non-Gujarati students and teachers can read. So this has really inspired, and the translation is done very well. Whoever has done it, it's tremendous. It's awesome. Very well translation is done. A special congratulations. The whole team needs congratulations. The translator too. My contact was always with Prakash Bhai, so I deeply thank him for giving me this opportunity to be here and be in the book one more time. It tells that अगर आप कुछ करने के लिए ठान ले और आप उसको अपना 100% दे दे, कोई भी चीज 100% दे दे, तो जैसे वो फिल्म में डायलॉग है ना, सारी कायनात आपकी मदद में आ जाती है. हमने देखा ये बुक में ये कैसे होता है. वो म्यूजियम में रखा, वो जर्मन करस्पॉन्डेंट्स आए, जर्मनी में रखा, और फिर कैसे वहां से आफ्टर ऑल वैन मिल गई, जर्मन नेवी शिप मिल गई, पूरे टाउन का, पूरे कंट्री का सहयोग मिल गया. सो एनी गुड थिंग इज हेल्प्ड, इट गेट्स डिवाइन हेल्प. Your intentions should be good. It motivates. It can be that anything can be achieved with the support of, especially for today, with the support of teachers, students, and of course, parents. Parents are as much attached with the school, and so we cannot keep them out. We all know that. Anyone who is part of the educational institute, I think how Sarla Ben has also helped in this project. I don't know the names of our other people, but a big congratulations and a big thanks to all of them for making this possible. Teachers are the pillars of society. They are the pillars of the future of society, of humankind. And the future is in their hands. How we teach, so it is like weaving. How we teach, so we reap from our future generations. As teachers, we all know how much impression we can create on the tender minds of our students. मैंने तो ये बहुत अनुभव किया था. माए आती है, टीचर देखो ना ये मेरी नहीं सुनता है, आपकी सुनेगा, और आपको ज्यादा कहने की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, जस्ट बिकॉज टीचर ने टोल्ड बच्चे ने मान लिया. सो इट्स लाइक अ मैजिक व्हाट टीचर्स टेल. कभी पढ़ाने बैठते हैं तो भी बच्चे को बोले ऐसे करो सम, तो वो बोलते हैं नहीं मेरे टीचर ने तो ऐसे सिखाया. तो जो टीचर बोले वो ही सच है. सो टीचर्स आर रियली द मेकर्स ऑफ सोसाइटी ऑफ फ्यूचर. If students start loving and believing in their teachers, and even their parents become subsidiary for them, we know that the students come to teachers almost like blank pages, and teachers can write on them with the golden alphabets of life. They can mold them and turn them into good citizens and good human beings. It is not only the duty, it is also the zeal. It also should be the zeal of all the teachers. I love Paper Clips, the book, because it carries a message of peace for humanity. And the paperclip, if we think it is such a wonderful thing, by coincidentally they had decided paperclips because it was worn by the Norwegian people and it was easy to avail and the weight was less. But if we see the use of paperclip, it keeps papers together and it does not bind them. Each paper is free and each paper is joined with another clip, another paper. That is the work of the paper clip. आप सब साथ में रहो, आप सब अपने अपने तरीके से रहो, वो पेपर क्लिप बताई. Can't we humans live like that in a paper clip? सब अलग, सब अपना करो, अब जो चाहे वो करो, लेकिन सब साथ में रह के करो. Joint yet independent. If in the world we live in today, there is a great need for peace and for viewing every person as a human being. We all know humanity has begun less tolerance nowadays. News of wars come from various parts of the world since last more than almost 2 years. It never ends and it is spreading everywhere. That is the big war we are talking about, but small, small wars everywhere. Jati ka, dharma ka, even what I say, Linka, a girl being raped in a Calcutta hospital, also is a war for ladies and for everyone else connected with that. ऐसे स्मॉल स्मॉल वॉर तो पूरी जगह चलते ही रहती. The war is going on. We all are making ghettos. And in big cities we all experience that. हम बोलते हैं कि ये जगह तो जाना ही नहीं, दिन में भी नहीं जा सकते. And believe me, मैं न्यूयॉर्क गई हूँ, वहां भी मैंने देखा था कि ये सर्टन एरिया है, वहां तो दिन में भी पुलिस नहीं जा सकती. In London also I have seen that. This is the area of those people, you don't go there. हम भूल से वहां एक बार गए भी थे वो एरिया में, लेकिन जिस बस में गए थे वो बस का ड्राइवर वहां वेट करके खड़ा था कि ये लोग भूल से गए हैं, अभी वापस आ जाएंगे. एंड इमीडिएटली सीइंग द, not seeing, the feeling the surroundings and atmosphere there, we immediately climbed back into the bus and the bus driver told, I knew you would come back. So it happens in all big cities, but we don't know why it is happening. News come from everywhere, whether it is New York, London, Mumbai, Ahmedabad. Ghettos are being formed in every city based on caste and religion. Whether it is the Bengal election or German Chancellor speech, everything rings alarm bells into our ears, which is bad for humanity. We look at people of certain looks, certain color, certain caste, religion, and we look at them with suspicion, and it is without any reason. कोई एरिया में जाने से हमें कोई रोकता नहीं है, कोई कुछ कर लेने वाला नहीं है, फिर भी पता नहीं क्यों एक डर सा रहता है, यहाँ नहीं जाना. Before this suspicion was not there, Nowadays it is more. But before the suspicions turns into hatred, once again, we must all be vigilant. I'm not a person to preach anything, but the effect of the book is this in my mind, that humanity cannot endure another Holocaust. Let's pray. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःख भाग् भवेत्. That is important. मा कश्चित् दुःख भाग् भवेत्. Thank you everyone for giving me so much time and listening to me with so much patience. I could see your patience and the discipline there.
Let us congratulate these people, those who have worked hard for translation. So first up is Noreen Patel.
Congratulations, the translation is done very well.
Another is
Though it is not word to word, Prakash bhai in Gujarati will say it's not Anuvad, it is Bhavanuvad.
Exactly.
So she has done Bhavanuvad. It is very well.
Another is Nivedita Chattopadhyay. બંગાળી બેન છે, ગુજરાતી વાંચી અંગ્રેજી કર્યું છે.
Oh, wow. અને રસીલાબેનને પણ આ ટ્રાન્સલેશન બહુ જ ગમે.
So these people, Poonam ma'am, she is economics teacher from Delhi.
Wow.
The only one, two people are there. The background is English teacher, Subhi Xavier.
Oh,
Shraddha Sharma, she is physics teacher. Sudeshna Bharat, she is English teacher. She is computer teacher.
oh.
Avni Sapatia. And as usual, પાછળ સંતાની રહેતી અમારી.
So here also there is harmony, Prakash bhai.
हाँ.
All subjects have come together to make this possible. It is English and computer and economics and others.
And
That is
physics
so
and
nice.
biology. Thank you. Of course. Thank you, ગિરિમા બેન. ફરી પાછા નિરાતે મળીશું આપની સાથે.
Chokkers.
કારણ કે આ લોકો હવે
Chokkers. Of course, enjoy a special day. We used to enjoy so much on Teachers Day in our school. So enjoy a big day. Wish you happy Teachers Day again. Thank you again,